Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's fucked up, but you know, that's just that's what happens when you're dealing with someone that. Yeah, I know. Yeah. See, it's when it comes to my kids, I know I'm never alone. I know and they living their life and they got things that's going on. But see, here's the thing: I don't want my kids to experience what I experienced because I didn't have that relationship with my dad due to my mom and dad. And when he died, I had a lot of regrets, and I felt like I should have been more open to him, and I should have set aside my indifferences to make amends. And when he died, I took it hard because it was hard for me. Yeah, it seems like you know divorces is more common now, and I ain't gonna say a specific gender, but I will say that certain people do things to try to control other people, and they will do petty stuff. Men and women do it. So, it's fucked up that people have to do it that way, and especially when you've been in an abusive relationship for so long that, when you finally break away from it to focus on yourself to become the person that you once was, that's hard. And when you're dealing with a controlling, abusive, narcissistic behavior, they chip away at you slowly to the point to where so you can't even remember your favorite color anymore. And that's where I was. And God put me through to prepare me for the person that I have in my life right now. And I'm still trying to put pieces of my life back together, but also at the same time too, I still struggle with abandonment, right? And um, yeah, I do, but I mean, there was some things that I was struggling with mentally that I shouldn't have said that she went to the courts about. And let's just say that they saw that I was mentally unstable at that point to be with my kids. And it got to a point to where as though that my visitations had to be supervised because of the things that I was struggling with mentally. And when you're dealing with mental and emotional abuse, that's something that you can't bounce back from. And that's one thing I'm focusing on. And you're right, I deserve my peace, and that's all I want. And I have an opportunity to experience peace and keep peace. Yeah, well, I'll say this. Um, and I'm speaking more on life lessons learned, is that if you're dating someone and they are still contacting people in their past, that's not a person that you want to be with. And it's something that I learned. Like this guy has been in our life since I asked this woman to marry me, April 2003, and even before we had the smartphones that we have now, we have flip. I don't know if you guys remember flip phones, Nextel, the little chirp chirp thing, stuff like that. They were still communicating with each other then. When I was at work, he would stop by the house. So, well, I'm still not stable. Mentally stable, yes. Financially, I'm still struggling because I'm not at a point to where I can take care of myself financially. To be honest with you. So yeah, so he was still in her life, even when I actually the day that I gave her the ring, and I should have known better. He was standing right next to her at her job, talking to her, while the day I gave her a ring, and I should have red flags was up then, but because I wanted to be happy, I pursued with it and I went on with it. So all I'm gonna say is that if you're in a relationship, well, I found out through my son's second birthday party, and the fact the thing about it is my family know about it. So at my son's second birthday party, they were drinking, and she had told my mom and my sister that she was still seeing her ex-boyfriend, and my family didn't tell me. My son's 17 now, so when she was claiming that she was going to Pennsylvania to see her parents, she was going to see him. So don't get me wrong, guys. Like, I made some mistakes, and my problem was communication. Because I was backed into a corner so many times, and I was mentally and physically abused to the point to where as though I kind of shut down because I didn't want to get in any altercations that can possibly result in being physically abused. Yeah, I mean, that's the past, and I'm okay with that. And all I can say is that I learned a lot throughout my past relationships. I hold no grudges or ill will for the people in my past, but it gets to a point to where, when you pay attention to the things that happen to you, yeah, oh, good gracious. I've tried that, and truth be told, I've had therapists tell me that the reason why I'm going through what I was going through is because of my fault. So, and yeah, that's a rabbit hole I don't want to go into right now. But my first 2 years was the hardest year for me to get on my feet because financially, the government and the courts was hitting your man's up. So it wasn't nothing I could do. So it got to a point to where I was living out of my truck, to try to send money to support my kids. Oh, good gracious. I've tapped in every resources that they had here in the state of Maryland. To be honest with you, when it comes to divorces and child-related issues, there's not a lot. Yeah, I tried, T. I tried. I tried all resources and avenues, and and tools that I could use to reach out to my kids. But they're there with their mom, and whatever she tells them, because I'm not there to defend myself, it's nothing I can do. I mean, it does matter in a sense because I'm here, they're there, and she's in their ear every day. And when I do try to reach out to my kids, and when I do finally reach out to my kids, the first question that they ask is, "Dad, are you okay?" And I'm going, "Well, where did that question come from? I'm just trying to see how you're doing and how you're doing in school." So apparently there are things going on that I don't know about, but I've gotten to a point now to like I don't care anymore. I really don't, because if I continue to focus on the past, I'm never going to be able to see my future, and I'm never going to make it through. Okay, I'll check it. It's fair. It is. At that time, it was fair because I wasn't. I was mentally all over the place, and instead of talking to people, I really couldn't find nobody that I could talk to and trust with the information I was sharing. So I would talk to her about it, but realizing that was a mistake because I never should have did that. And by doing that, she took that information, twisted it, and presented it to my kids as well as like I was psychologically unfit to be a father. And all I was doing was just trying to survive and make a way to provide for my kids. So, but now, I'm in a much better place now. I have a starter job that's they're willing to help your man's out. Good morning, Shell. It's I'm in a much better place now, and this is a new chapter in my life, and it's a possibility that I'm gonna be in a much better place in the up and coming years. But the fact of the matter is, I try to tell people and try to explain to people like no matter what you go through in life, and if you don't like the person, leave. Don't force yourself to stay in a situation that you shouldn't be in. And if you're one that's all about communicating your feelings and emotions to show this person that you're there for them, they continue to be that. But also at the same time, if they're not giving you back what you're investing, then there's a problem there, and you shouldn't be in a position. Yeah, I did. I thought, but in fact, it flip the other way. It flipped the other way, and that's okay. That's okay because karma's a bitch, and I'm not one kinda to seek revenge. Maybe. Okay, all right, yeah. Well, okay, I'm not gonna go down that way. But all I can say is I'm not one to seek revenge because you're right. Emotional pain is real. You know what I mean? And this is one of the reasons why a lot of people gravitate to social media because they're looking for somebody that is going through something similar to what they're going through, and they want real answers. And truth be told, a lot of the shit that you see on TikTok is just fake and phony, and people are painting pictures of lifestyles that they're not actually living in. They really suffer behind closed doors. But today I was just in my feelings about some stuff, and I've been trying to process things that's been happening in my life. And all I can say is that I'm in a much better place now. And as I promised, yes, I am. Yes. And that's one thing I had to focus on too was my relationship with God. And the young lady that I have in my life now, that's the only thing that we've been promoting is pray every morning, acknowledge God every day, lean out on your own understanding, put your trust and faith in God, be patient and let Him work things out. And He's always on time. So it's just being a child of God. We just have to be more patient and understanding when it comes to dealing with life situations. So I'm at a point now to where I'm starting to understand that. And yes, at one point I was reaching out to my church for guidance and support. But unfortunately, I never heard back from my church when I was at a point in my life to where as though I thought about clocking out, So my next step right now is to save up enough money and get a car. That's the next step because once I'm mobile again, then my opportunities for career advancement would open up. Two, don't allow other people to dictate my feelings and my emotions. So my mental health and my peace right now is very important. I've been through enough that, sometimes you get tired of talking about the same shit over and over and over again. And people are offering therapeutic responses of not being authentic. So it's gotten to a point now that I just don't give a fuck anymore. And I need to worry about myself. And I don't mean to be selfish. And I don't mean to be an asshole. But in order for me to maintain my peace, this is what I need to do.